So we're going to get started. I think we've got a really nice turnout today. I think we might even have a couple of late arriving guests. So thanks again. I want to welcome everybody on behalf of the Oshkosh Chamber and our Board of Directors to our annual State of the Community event that the Chamber's been putting on forever. It seems like. So we always have a real good turnout for this. We did move the time this year. We think that was a good decision to kind of the lunch hour. So hopefully that's been more convenient. This is kind of the kickoff event to our annual Business Expo that's taking place right next door, which starts officially at 2 p.m. for the general public. Hopefully some of you can take the opportunity to go through our expo today. We've got well over 80 exhibitors that'll be on hand at the expo, so we're looking forward to that event. And then, of course, our Business After Hours event will be tomorrow, and Taste of Oshkosh will be tonight from 4 to 6 across the hall. So please come back, and we'd love to see you there. So again, I want to thank everybody for attending, and we are very fortunate today to have a number of esteemed guests from a number of organizations in the community that are here to share some updates and information on what's happening with their various entities. What we're going to do is we're going to bring each individual up separately for about a 10 to 15 minute presentation, and then we'll open it up for one or two questions from the audience, if there are any, for each individual. And then at the end of everybody's presentation, I think Gordon will be going last, we'll open it up for any other general questions for anybody. Usually the longest speaker goes last. No, I'm kidding, Gordon. No. It's all strategic. No, I'm kidding. So we have a total of about 90 minutes today, so should be very good. So I'm going to just give a quick intro of each presenter that we have with us, and then we'll get started. So, and I will remind, stick around after the event for more interactions, if our presenters are able to stick around maybe individually for questions you might have as well. So first we have Dr. Brian Davis from the Superintendent of the Oshkosh Area School District. Brian, thank you for being here today. And then we have Dr. Jennifer Lantard here from Fox Valley Technical College. Jennifer is VP of Learning and the Chief Academic Officer at Fox Valley Technical College. Jennifer. We have Alex Hummel with us here today. He's the Executive Director of University Relations and Communications at UW-Oshkosh. Alex. In the back today, social distancing today, we have Oshkosh City Manager Rebecca Grill. She's a little under the weather, but we really appreciate you showing up, Rebecca, as well. And finally, we have Winnebago County Executive Gordon Hintz with us today. Gordon, thanks for being here. All right, with that, I think we'll get right into it. So, Dr. Davis, Brian, I think we'll have you come on up and get things started.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. My name is Brian Davis, as Rob had said. I'm the proud superintendent of the Oshkosh Area School District in my 5th year here in Oshkosh. I'm so really proud to be able to offer some insights about who we are, how we're performing from a district standpoint, and then where we're headed. At the end of this, there'll be a call to action, and I'll have that on the last side, an opportunity for you to be able to engage with us to talk about what our important themes are for the future. So as we start today, again, just want to be able to pose 3 questions just to guide my portion of the presentation. Again, who we are, how are we doing, and where are we going? So first of all, just a little bit about our demographics for the Oshkosh Public Schools. So we have 17 schools that make up 8,925 students as of our 3rd Friday count, about 1,400 staff members with one vision. And our single focus is to be able to make sure that we have all students community, career, and college ready. So it's those 3 aspects that we want to make sure that we provide opportunities for our kids to be prepared. So when they walk across the stage, they're prepared to engage in their community, be ready for a career, and if they choose to go to college, they would have the skills to be able to do that. You can see on the bottom sections is just some of our demographics. So our racial demographics continuing to be more diverse as we evolve year to year. Also the students that we serve, students with disabilities, about 17% of our population, students of disabilities, about 46% economically disadvantaged, and about 8.5% our English language learners, meaning English is not their first language. It's one of our distinguishing marks from a district standpoint. We have over 60, so 60 home languages that are spoken in our families across the district. So some really great diversity that we have provided in the district. It really gives our students an opportunity to experience the world as they would go K-12 throughout our system. So that's who we are. So how are we performing? So one of the things that I'm proud of to say that as our district report card that we had that reported our performance for the 2024-2025 school year, we exceeded expectations on the Department of Public Instruction state report card. So every district gets a report card, and we were exceeding expectations in that realm for the first time since 2018-2019. So really proud of that work. So that's a bump up from where we had been over the last couple of years. That is looking overall at our district, looking at achievement on reading and math, looking at growth. We take a look at some ratings for our subcategories, both racial and special education, and then also just overall on track for graduation. So when you drill down on that a little bit more, and again, this is looking more at our standardized testing scores, we do have continue to do some work on our achievement, so we're lagging a little bit from a state standpoint on our achievement for reading and math. Where we make up for that is looking at our growth. So our growth is something that we take a lot of pride in, from where students are at the beginning of the year to where they are at the end of the year, and growing them. Our staff does a great job to grow kids. So we're going to continue to double down on our achievement scores, and we know we need to exceed not only a year's worth of growth, but because some of our students are behind, we need to have 2 or 3 years worth. So that's something we'll continue to work on. And I don't know why this went so far ahead. Also happy and very proud to report that when you look at just our high schools, because our schools also get individual report cards, our high schools have the top 2 report card ratings in the Fox Valley Association Conference. So when you look at our athletic conference, thank you. So again, that's looking at our achievement, growth, on track to graduation status, especially at the high school level. I'm really proud to be able to continue to push the bar here. And we did leapfrog, Wes did leapfrog Nina this year. So not sorry to anybody from Nina that's in here. So. But really proud of that, and going to continue to push the bar forward as we're working forward on that. So those represent kind of our overall standardized testing reports, but for us, what it really comes down to is each student every day, right? And so I wanted to highlight just a few of our star students. One is an alumni, and another one is one of our current students, just to give you a flavor of who the faces are that we're talking about, because certainly our students are more than a number on a proficiency test score, are certainly contributing in bigger ways. So I wanted to highlight Hannah Chung. So she's one of our alumni that we spotlighted at a recent board meeting. Hannah is a Oshkosh West graduate of 2023. She went through the Global Academy, Global Studies program over at Oshkosh West. And when we talked to Hannah at the last board meeting, what she would say is a lot of her success that she's had at the post-secondary level in college has been attributed to the exposure and the work that she did at West, and specifically in global studies, working on group projects. Hannah was spearheaded a biodigester project between the district and UW Oshkosh when she was in high school. So just getting those real world opportunities was really important. So Hannah is currently at MIT, and she'll be graduating this spring, so she's the class of 2026. So if you do the quick math, what you'll see is Hannah's going to graduate from MIT in 3 years. Hannah's a double major in computer science, economics, and data science is 1, and then business analytics is number 2. So Hannah spent last summer over in California with $500,000 in seed money that she had to start up her AI startup that she's working through. We're working with her on a pilot program because it's AI in education, and how do you give tools to teachers and students? And so she's got a toolkit that her and her colleagues have developed. So she's working on that. So Hannah's going to work on graduating this year and to be able to start that startup. If the startup doesn't work, her backup plan is to work on Wall Street. Not a bad backup plan. So really proud of Hannah, but it just goes to show you just the advanced learning opportunities that we have prepared her, and she'll tell you that prepared her really well to compete with some of the best scholars across the world. Also wanted to highlight one of our current students, Rosa Ortiz Young. So Rosa is in the current class for 2026 at Oshkosh West. And really wanted to lift Rosa up because she is part of our CTE program, our Career and Technical Education program in the culinary arts. She's a prime example of the great work that's going on within that department. And so because Rosa couldn't be here today because we did have class, thank God, we didn't have another snow day, we're going to have Rosa tell us a little bit about what her experience has been.
My name is Rosa. I attend Oshkosh West High School. I'm interested in culinary especially because I grew up in the kitchen with my mom, and I feel like that definitely impacted my curiosity with cooking and baking especially. Testing out new recipes has always been so much fun. I have taken Exploring Egg and Food Science, Culinary 1, 2, and 3. I'm currently in Senior Foods and Worldwide Cuisine. I've definitely gotten so many opportunities from taking all these classes. I currently work at Sweet Jewels Bakes. It's a bakery downtown. We get all local ingredients and make everything from scratch. I've definitely learned a lot with time management. I'm sometimes only the only baker on, so I really have to plan out okay, well, this is in the oven, what else can I be doing? And I feel like it doesn't just apply to what's in the oven and what else I can do. I feel like I've definitely taken that into the real world. At Truffle Pig, I'll be working in the kitchen with the executive chef and just kind of playing around with the dessert menu and kind of focusing on that, and I'll hope to branch out into more of the culinary side rather than just the pastry side as well. I've learned a lot with working, getting paid, and going to school at the same time. It's very interesting that I get to leave at 2 every day just to go and work, just so that I can get extra experience because my school wants me to be confident in my future career. I plan to attend Fox Valley Technical College for their culinary program. I would say the cake competitions have definitely helped me explore my interest in culinary arts. I've gotten a closer look into the kitchens. I actually spent a day there last year where I was able to work with the students there, and it was very cool to see what my future was going to be looking like, which makes me feel more comfortable going into it. That was definitely a smooth transition. I was able to really see what I was going into, even if I didn't fully have my whole future and career figured out at that point. I learned about their programs through Miss Badke. I think she definitely gave me a lot of opportunities that I've taken, and I don't know what I would where I would be without all of that. I definitely think not even just culinary classes, but all the CTE programs we have here, teachers are so supportive of you. Those teachers want to see you succeed. So I think taking these classes in high school definitely helps you decide if this is what you want to do in your future. You get some experience with it, and I think that's important for either business, agriculture, culinary, anything.
So again, a great example of the opportunities that our students get. Obviously, Rosa was able to find her passion and is getting great work experience, not only from her high school experience, but also from some of our community partners. So excited about that, excited about her future at Fox Valley Tech, where she doesn't have to leave the city or leave the valley in order to get what really for her is a world-class experience in something that she's passionate about. So that's really what we take a lot of pride in is stories like that for Rosa. So community partnerships that we have developed, and I thought this was very relevant for today's experience here for the Business Expo. One, we have some new leadership related to our youth apprenticeship programs and our School to Work programming. So Melanie Warbolski and Alex Torres are leading the charge for us. So if some of you might remember Vicki Poyer, Vicki retired and Melanie took Vicki's position. So those two are working hand in hand to be able to not only provide the experiences similar to you heard from Rosa, but also to expand that and see what we can create and to try to meet the needs that you have from a workforce standpoint. So up there was a very successful webinar that they held on January 14th. Some of you might have been involved in that. Thank you again for the collaboration with the chamber to make that happen. So that's one of the important partnerships that we have. So please take time today if you're interested in youth apprenticeship, you haven't been part of that that experience before, just let me know. Dr. Sam Coleman's in the back, our Assistant Superintendent of Instruction. We can talk to you and hook you up with Melanie or Alex to be able to provide those opportunities. The other partnership that I wanted to lift up today, again, is a partnership between the district and many of these partners on here, which include the Chamber of Commerce, is our Read More campaign. And I'm going to give credit to Sam Coleman. Sam, can you stand up in the back? Just make sure everybody knows who Sam is. Give Sam a round of applause. So Sam has been a leader for our district over the last couple of years and has really brought the emphasis of literacy in our community to be our number one priority that we work through from a district standpoint. So Sam has worked with Trina Wolt. So Trina, thank you for your leadership on this through the Chamber of Commerce and Leadership Oshkosh to be able to spearhead our Read More campaign. And so you can see the partners that we have up here on Read More. The idea for us is to be able to spread literacy, the importance of literacy and reading throughout our community, to make sure that every business has some acknowledgement of why reading is important in your spaces. They've given away over 400 books. We have launched a website, and we would love to have you be part of that campaign. So if you're interested in that, you can touch base with Trina or Sam or myself, and we can hook you up with that. But again, the more, from a community standpoint, the more we can wrap around our literacy initiative, we know the better success we're going to have with our students as we're moving forward. So transitioning, other things that we have going on besides the academic and student experience here, we have our long-range facilities plan. So that was approved at our referendum last April. And a lot of work being done on that. And so what I want to be able to just point you to is some of the projects that you'll start to see done over the next 4 years worth of work. All of these projects have been approved, and some of them have gone through the design and building process. So what you'll see immediately at the beginning of next school year, so August of 26, we'll have a new addition onto Carl Traeger, and we'll have air conditioning at E-Cook, Lakeside, and Reed Elementary Schools, which means we'll have air conditioning in all of our elementary and middle schools across the system, which is a very big deal, especially if you're talking to any students or teachers that are in our schools in August or September every year. What that also does is allows us to open up summer school opportunities in the upcoming years and be able to do that in our particular neighborhoods. We have bigger expansions that are going on over at Franklin and Oakwood, so those will be done at the end of next year, so August of 2027. And a very exciting project that we have at Oshkosh North High School. For the first time, they'll have a performing auditorium that they'll be able to use, and that'll be open at August of 27 also. We have a consolidation process has been part of our referendum work. So we have Tipler and South Park Middle School that'll be consolidated into a new school, middle school on the Jacob Shapiro site. That'll open in August of 2028. And then our final project for phase 2 will be our recreation, relocation of our rec department, along with the development of a pre-K center that will be at the Tipler Middle School site, and that'll open up in 2029. So a lot of work that we have going on. At this point, as we're looking at some of those early projects, we've had good success from a bidding standpoint, and our timing is right on track. So we're really excited to be able to just continue to bring those updates to the community to be able to show our stewardship of taxpayer dollars and modernizing and consolidating our facilities and preparing for the students that we have into the future. So again, some of these consolidation savings, I know were part of my previous presentations related to the referendum. But again, part of this is modernizing the facilities, but also as we're looking at in certainly some dynamic budgets that we have to work through and streamlining, being more efficient with our dollars, making sure that we're serving the students that we have. Historically, we've been around 10,000 students for quite a while. As we transition into being more around 8,500 students into the future, we knew that we had too many schools. So at the end of our phasing process, we'll be down to 15 schools from where we were for 20. That has significant savings for us operationally. You can see some of our phase 1 projects and savings on those, and those are annual savings. We'll have similar reports that we'll have as we consolidate both out of Shapiro Elementary School, will be at the end of this year, and then Roosevelt Elementary School at the end of next year. We'll have further reports on what those consolidation savings are. But those are really important for us as we continue to work through some 3 budget items. So again, 3 questions for you. who we are, how are we doing, and I want to wrap up today with just saying where we're going. And this is where I'm going to need your help as we're moving forward. So one of the things that we haven't done since pre-COVID is to be able to have a full-blown community engagement sessions to talk about our strategic plans and where we need to move for the future. So if for some of you that were in the community, Oshkosh for Education took on that role in kind of the early 2010s to 2016, 2017. So what we're bringing back is different format, but similar process to be able to get community engagement. So as we're looking at the Oshkosh Schools Summit, so we're launching that summit, and that summit is set up as a 3-day community event. And the idea is to get as many community members in the room as possible, to work through with our staff and each other to create a clear picture of where has the district been in the past, where are we right now, and then where do we want to go in the future. So that's what the 3 days are broken up into, a past, present, and future process. And it's designed to be able to have literally hundreds of people that are invested in our community to be able to come and talk about what themes they want to have us work on for the next 5 to 10 years. So the dates are up there. There's a QR code here, so if you want to just take that with your phone, you can sign up literally right now. We'll also be getting postcards that look exactly like this. Postcards will be dropping in households the week of March 31st. So every household in the entire district is getting a postcard. We'd also love for you, if you have a business, we'd love for you to post it and put that in your lobby just to help us advertise. We want to get as many people here as possible. Because we are competitive, Kaukauna ran this 3 years ago, and their strategic planning process had about 200 people at theirs, so we need at least to get to 215. That's our goal. But it's a big group process. And so we invite everybody to come out. That's going to set our tone. Our board right now is in our renewal process of our strategic plan. We'll be waiting from the feedback that we have at these sessions and the themes that come out of there to finalize the key performance indicators and what our strategies are for our plan moving forward. So it's going to be critical that we have as many voices at the table here as possible to develop those themes. So that's my call for action today. I'm very excited to be with you today.
All right, thanks, Brian. Thanks, Brian. Very good. So at the Chamber, we're very happy to be a partner and collaborator with the school district. Shannon Seaman, our Director of Education, Talent, and Technology, is very involved in Adopt a School and promoting youth apprenticeships and Future Youth Career Conferences, to name a few. And then Trina Wolt coordinates the Youth Leadership Oshkosh program and the Read More program. So we want to stay an active partner and look forward to that in the future. So again, thanks. I also want to point out that Bank First is our presenting sponsor of the State of the Community event today. I think I failed to do that before, so thanks. A round of applause for Bank First for sponsoring this. With that, I would like to bring up Dr. Jennifer Lantern from Fox Valley Technical College. Jennifer? Thank you.
All right, happy to be with you today. Looking forward to sharing with you a little bit about what's going on at Fox Valley Tech, here specifically in Oshkosh. So for those of you who perhaps are a little bit less familiar with the Wisconsin Technical College system, recently revised their vision statement as a system, so I'll share that with you here, delivering comprehensive education and training that empowers students and employers to thrive amid innovation and workplace transformation, driving economic vitality across Wisconsin's communities. So really a strong focus on our ability to support business and industry in our district. There are 16 technical colleges across the state, all that have very well-defined boundaries. So Fox Valley Tech there in the middle. Across all of the programs, across all of the colleges, we have over 500 programs and serve more than 290,000 students a year across those 16 colleges. Specific to Fox Valley Technical College, we serve 4 counties completely, as well as portions of 5 other counties. Our district population that we are in place to serve is just over 500,000 people. So I want to talk about, that's like the broad kind of part of the college, I want to talk a bit about our presence specifically in Oshkosh. And because I can't bring you all to all of our facilities, my goal today is for you to see inside some of the facilities that likely you've been driving around for some time. Our Riverside campus sits just as it says, along the river. Houses many general education classes. For us, this is our communication classes, some gorgeous new science labs I'll show you in a minute. Houses mathematics as well as our social science courses. There's marketing program, has a heavy focus here. Our information technology or IT programming has a heavy presence in our Oshkosh campus. Along with our adult education, which is our high school completion programs, we have a strong partnership with Oshkosh Area School District for high school completion, in addition to serving adults in the community, and a strong English language learning program for adults. I want to focus specifically on the health program. The beautiful new science labs I mentioned really helped grow and set the stage for some significant improvements in our facility to support our healthcare programming. Surgical technology came online such that we had our first accreditation visit over this last year, a fully accredited surgical technology program. This is not a picture from a real operating room. This is our students in our surgical technology space. This is what it looks like without a bunch of students. This space was developed and designed in partnership with our healthcare providers so that they have an input into what it should look like. So when our students move into their clinical rotations, move into the workforce, they're very comfortable and familiar with the environment that they are in the workplace because they've been learning in that exact same space in our building. I've also learned with surgical technology, the storage and location of all of the equipment that they use is incredibly important, again, modeled very much after our healthcare partners here in Oshkosh, so sharing those photos with you. But it's not just surgical technology that we offer from a healthcare perspective. We've recently remodeled our phlebotomy lab, so if you have interest in being a phlebotomist, maybe not you, but students have interest in being a phlebotomist, this is some of the new space that they have the opportunity to learn in. We updated our medical assistant lab, so what I hope you'll see there is the kind of exam room templates that they have along the sides of the buildings with the curtains that they can pull and operate very much like they would, again, in the healthcare industry. We've revamped our nursing assistant lab. What you'll see here is that the classroom portion takes place in the lab. So there's not multiple places. When students come to us to learn a bit about nursing assistant or any of these medical fields, our goal is to have the students in one space where they can sit and they can learn, and instead of having to get up and move to a different room to see the lab component, they have the lab component right there. So they're able to work with the hospital beds, work with the quote-unquote, right, patients and space that they're in. So really worked hard to integrate that into one to provide the optimal learning environment to make the best use of time and space for our students. We also upgraded our nursing lab. So really nice facilities from a healthcare programming perspective at our Riverside campus. These are some of those newer science labs that I'm referencing. There's a chemistry lab on the left with those very cool kind of vent hoods that just pull down instead of if you maybe had the larger hoods when you were in high school or perhaps took science classes in college. It is much fancier and those no longer get in the way. We're able to push those out of the way and have the instruction take place there. And then we have an anatomy and physiology lab here on the right with the models in the back, and again, that gorgeous view that I do not have in my office, but our students get when they are in class. Probably one of the most exciting additions to the Riverside campus is coming this fall, which will be the addition of paramedic programming. You might be familiar with our paramedic programming as it exists up at our Public Safety Training Center in Appleton. So we are bringing that to Oshkosh. This is a simulated ambulance. It's a little bit like the rides, if you've ever been on those at Universal or where you're the Back to the Future ride, where it moves you all around like this and makes you a little bit nauseous sometimes. This ambulance is simulated in that fashion where it's bumpy just like the roads would be and have the opportunity to learn in. So the paramedic program, again, coming this fall. We anticipate starting with a class around 15 students. We have talked with numerous healthcare providers within the Oshkosh area about the needs specific for this, but Oshkosh Fire Department has really worked with us in identifying the interest and the need for fire medics. and how can we help provide that. So we're excited to offer that come fall. So that's just at Riverside. Like, I really wish I could just pick you all up and take you there so you have a chance to see the spaces. We do have other spaces beside Riverside in Oshkosh. We have our FabTech Education and Training Center. Outside of it's located here, very close to our Spanbauer Center. The inside is noted here. This is an industry-specific training center, specific for Fabic Cat, who helps provide the sourcing for students even, where they are vetting the students, vetting them for potential employment after they finish this one-year program that's taught through us. So an excellent opportunity for them to build their workforce out and do so in really a controlled environment. They help us outline what the curriculum's going to look like. They work very closely with our instructors and ensure that students are ready for employment as soon as they are done. No real onboarding needed once they get to the company. We have our Advanced Manufacturing Technology Center right off of 41, where we have welding and metal fabrication, a large building designed specifically to support our manufacturing partners. Probably one of the coolest buildings that we have here in the Oshkosh space is our S.J. Spanbauer Center, which houses aviation programming as well as many of our construction programs. And if you haven't had a chance to step in, you want a tour, will you let me know, because it's such a cool space. And this is just one example of the hangar that sits on this land that is designed for certainly pilot training when you think about aviation, but also airframe and power plant mechanics, aircraft electronics. There's a lot of that type of work that goes on here as students are learning to meet their FAA requirements in those spaces, but also earning degrees specifically with us. So a lot of times people are surprised to see the amount of airplanes that we lease. It's a lot of airplanes. Our construction programs inside that building, we have a whole mocked house as well. That this one is specifically designed for our residential building program, where students are working as much as possible within a real live space so that they, again, are prepared for when they graduate with their credential and enter the workforce. Our newest structure isn't necessarily a structure per se. We do have a small unheated space which has restrooms available for students, but most of it is just this open space where students every year are constructing and taking down that learning process and doing so outside for our construction management program. So this is an example of the structure starting to go up and then again comes down and gets ready for the next group of students. But this program, this location specifically supports our construction management program. So that's what we look like specifically here in the Oshkosh space. Collectively as a college, though, I do want to share with you we're the largest technical college in the state. We serve nearly 50,000 students annually. Of those, about 7,500 are degree-declared students. We serve apprenticeship students, and a significant amount of the individuals that we serve are through continuing education. About 85% of our typical program students are part-time. That is a huge majority of the students that we are working with. And about 10% of our high school graduates in the area come. So it was great to hear a bit about Rosa and that she'll be joining us. Every year we are pumping out about 2,400 graduates into business and industry right here in the community. And I think what we're most proud of, some of what we're most proud of, is that our grads are really securing excellent jobs. So these are at max 2-year programs, with the exception of the aviation program and the pilot training, which is a very expensive program. It's a very affordable option for students, kind of in that $10,000 to $12,000 max for an associate degree. Average salary 6 months after graduation shown there, as well as 5 years after graduation. So really proud of these outcomes. And then importantly for you as employers, our graduates often stay in the district. That's what we're so excited about. They stay in Wisconsin, but they also stay in the district. And for those who go on to transfer to a 4-year institution, they are also significantly more likely to be successful there after they've been successful with us. And we're really proud of that as well. So we offer your typical associate degrees, technical diplomas, credentials that you would expect, but relatively new-ish for us, and because it bleeds into the high school space, I did want to share a bit about our Associate of Arts and Associate of Science degrees. Typically, the technical college has been sitting in a space where we have provided industry-ready credentials. This is a transfer pathway that students now have. We have more than 500 students who are enrolled in a transfer pathway, which means they're coming to us knowing that they'll earn an associate's degree and they'll enter one of our four-year partners like UWO with 60 credits left, 2 years left to go to reach that final destination, if you will. What we're really excited about on this particular set of programs is we have started to work with high schools to provide the opportunity to have online offerings or online learning that will allow students to start this degree, and if they're really savvy, get pretty darn close to completing it prior to exiting high school, which is very exciting. So just highlight that, and if you have interest or want to learn more, anybody at Fox Valley Tech can talk to you about this, but I would be very excited to do so as well. From a business and industry perspective, the training that we offer, we serve over 2,100 employers across the district with very specific customized training. We're training more than 20,000 employees via contract training within our district, and this equates for us to a revenue of about $12 million. So it's a huge revenue source for us, which allows us, of course, to offset our costs, but to continue to support employers in our district. And out of the entire state, all 16 technical colleges, we account for almost 20% of all the contract training that takes place across the state. So this is an area that we are very strong in and continue to be happy to support. Share just two more points with you. Collaboration with our K-12 partners, so mentioned the great success at North and at West. I would also suggest that we are seeing really, really positive results with a shared position that we support, a post-secondary navigator that helps Oshkosh High School students complete the FAFSA for federal financial aid. You can see some numbers in terms of what's been processed there, but also what type of enrollment growth we have seen from Oshkosh, and we're just thrilled to have that partnership and grateful for that. It's an amazing opportunity for students to have that wraparound support as they're continuing their educational journey. And last, we also offer a host of community and self-enrichment courses. I could go on and on and on about this space, but I'll just give you two examples. We offer like a CPR class, we offer outdoor photo adventure, right? The opportunities that we have to provide and serve, and we are statutorily required to provide these types of trainings. We're very happy to do so and use our beautiful spaces at each of those locations to provide specific continuing education opportunities for the community as well. So really a very quick 10 to 15-ish, 17-minute update on where we are here in the Oshkosh campus and collectively who we're serving and what we're able to provide to the business community. Really grateful to be here and certainly would welcome the opportunity to talk with you. If there's a way we can partner with you, we would be very happy to do that.
Okay, thanks, Jennifer. Very good. We're very fortunate to have Fox Valley Tech here in Oshkosh. PJ, we'll do it after. How's that? We'll talk with her after. No, I'm kidding. Jennifer, thanks. We've known for decades that Fox Valley Tech is one of the top technical colleges in the country, and I think that still exists today. So we're really appreciative to have you here, and thanks for today. So now we're going to move on to UW Oshkosh. We have Alex Hummel is the Executive Director of University Relations and Communications. So without further ado, Alex, it's yours.
Thanks, Rob. All right, I'm going to fly through these, but not at the expense of cool stuff. How many Titans in the room? How many people have a degree from UW Oshkosh? You know what to do when you see something cool. By the way, is this a beautiful city or what? Amy Albright makes sure that sun rises right there every single day. Every day. Thank you, Amy. A few things to point out. By the way, we're in the Final Four this week. We'll be playing Thursday night, in case you're curious. It'll be streamed. And then on Saturday, yes. For starters. I just meant for starters. Yes. WIAC Player of the Year, Paige Secker. Wow. Does your influence know no end, Amy? I mean, come on.
Oshkosh West grad.
Yep, Oshkosh West grads. So once again, another example of a local success story. But we are so proud of our women's basketball team, back-to-back Final Fours. And by the way, these student athletes are incredible students. I mean, really, truly, every year their GPAs are incredible. Well over 3 points, and we're just so proud of them. And yes, they also do stick around in our community and our region. I'll get to that in a little bit too. Oh, by the way, our men's track team got finished third at nationals this year, so that just happened too. Another batch of amazing student athletes. Our women's gymnastics team is in national championship this week as well. I believe they're in Cortland, New York, going for what could be their 6th championship. So this is incredible work. We're waiting for another one from them. And you may have heard this. We were national champions in volleyball this year too, this fall. So another amazing squad, and also high-performing students at UW Oshkosh. That's their the night they won down in Illinois. So we're so proud of them. Oh yeah, we're not done. We're not done. Women's flag football is now a home here at UW Oshkosh. So we're so proud of that because there are so many young student athletes who are in these programs throughout the region and are looking for an opportunity in college to continue playing while they study. So we went there. We're doing that. They had a pretty tough game, their first game, but if you heard the roar under the dome at UW Oshkosh on some of the big plays, it was really awesome. So another just amazing, wonderful group of student athletes. Here's a few more of them. These are all freshmen, by the way, and they are so proud and excited to have this opportunity. Oh, I'm not done. Men's soccer. We're bringing back men's soccer at UW Oshkosh. Why? Because there are students out there that want to play, because the WIAC is chock full of men's soccer programs right now, and there's going to be some incredible competition. It's championship eligible, and we heard it loud and clear from our alumni community that this was time to bring it back. We've also had several alumni step up and say to us that they're ready to help support the program upon launch. So this is not just going to be university support, it's going to be alumni support driving it as well. So very proud to see that happen at UWO. Those are just some of the past trophies from the program back since we've won it. Okay, let's get to the numbers. Really doing well. Fall to spring retention, which is the stepping stone for any university's health as you get to fall retention. We had 91% of our students return this spring. Very excited about that. That's a good number. We've got about 12,500 learners that are affiliated with UW Oshkosh, which continues to keep us at third largest in the universities of Wisconsin. That number is a whole amalgam. So you've got your everyday 4 years resident students at UW Oshkosh campus. You've got more than 5,000 cooperative academic partnership program, or CAP program students who are involved. And those are the students, probably in your families, who are already earning college credits in their native high schools. We've got hundreds of high schools around Wisconsin, and even some in northern Illinois, where students are earning UW Oshkosh credits. We're very proud of them, and we're working hard to get more of those Titans to come to four-year college here at UW Oshkosh so that they can become our neighbors. Alumni engagement, strong. We'll be transforming the campus in the months ahead. 3 residence halls are going to come down. Why? They're too old. They're too expensive to fix. Students don't want to live in them. Call us crazy, but we're going to make room. And when the time is right in the future, we may move in a new residence hall, something more modern, something more appealing to students when that time comes. But that's just part of our planning. And then also strategic planning, which some of you probably have been a part of, is ongoing. We are continuing, as I said before, to really focus on yield, getting all of those students who are interested in UW Oshkosh and have signaled their interest through applications to come. And a big part of that is those CAP learners too. So if you've got a CAP student in your family, or maybe in your, I don't know, church community or whatever, tell them Oshkosh is here for them, okay? Chancellor Singh couldn't be here today because he's in India celebrating his daughter's wedding. And, but you may have seen him out and about. He's been one busy person, and frankly, by design. Really proud of all the efforts he's made to get out, meet new leaders, make sure that we're connected with our alumni community, really just being present and letting people know that the word of the day for UW Oshkosh is partnership. And I think you've already seen some of the examples here at our table of what we're up to. But we're really, really proud of our alumni community. Here's an event back in October at Oshkosh Corporation. Great turnout. A lot of Titans everywhere you go. Our numbers are this: 90% of the students who graduate from UW-Oshkosh who are from Wisconsin stay in Wisconsin, with the vast majority of those sticking around right here in our Fox Valley region because of the opportunities you are giving them. We are definitely partners in this success story. College is great. The experiences they're getting beyond college, even before they graduate, are amazing. They transform into jobs. We retain them. That is the secret sauce of UW-Oshkosh, which shall no longer be a secret. This is how we do it. This is how we win together. So we're really proud of that. The second number is 40%, sometimes as high as 45. Students who come to UW-Oshkosh from out of state and graduate stick around. 45% of them. It's been that high in the last several years, and often again in the Fox Valley region. We are making Wisconsinites with our university, with your university. We're really proud of that, and it's working. So we need to continue to keep our foot on the gas on that effort. Chancellor Singh needs to get inaugurated, and we're going to do it in April, on April 24th. There's a QR code on your screen right now. I'm watching very intently as everybody lifts out their cameras. No? Okay. You can get it later, too. I've got it on the screen out at our booth, E3, by the way. We are going to just celebrate a new chancellor. We don't do this too often in Oshkosh, 10 years before and 14 years before that. So it's a great day. The community's invited. There's a big lunch celebration afterwards. So please join us. You can also find it online at our website. Pretty big news here. We are going to get a new library at UW-Oshkosh, which is the heart and soul of any university campus. Polk Library has served us well, but it's failing. And I'm very proud to say that last year we successfully made the argument that we do need something new at UW-Oshkosh. The legislature supported it. Thanks to all of our local legislators for really helping advocate for us as well. But bottom line, the new Polk Learning Commons will be right where the current library is. It's going to be a hybridized renovation rebuild, and it will be really the state-of-the-art digital nerve center and heartbeat for UW-Oshkosh that we really, really need. So proud to see that happen. That's going to kick off. Shovels in the earth right now, February 27. So stay tuned. We'd love to have you all there. You may have heard about our new academic structure. As of July 1, we moved from 4 colleges to 3, and really paying great concentration on career cluster expectations from our students. These are the kinds of batches of degrees and academic programs that students already had started to see and taste in their K-12 experience. So we're bringing it forward to UW-Oshkosh, and these are the new combinations: a College of Business, Art, and Communication, a College of Public Affairs and Education, and a College of Nursing, Health Professions, and STEM. Grouping these things in much more career-focused, but also meaningful ways for learners who may have all kinds of different ideas about how they want their career to evolve over time. Underneath the colleges, there are 2 schools apiece. You can see them up here. And so we've innovated in that regard too. We have been in the news a lot lately, and for all the right reasons. We're getting more notice about our nationally recognized programs, more men in nursing. So proud of the fact that at UW-Oshkosh, part of your experience is going to be working with the community, whether it's helping people file tax returns or working with our school district to solve academic challenges inside the schools, or in this last one, which may look a little weird, but we've got hibernating squirrels at UW-Oshkosh in a laboratory. They're treated very humanely. They're very cute. And what they're helping us learn is how hibernation can can help the body repair itself. These squirrels are magnificent at that. We're studying them. There's also some applications with visual impairment that we're studying too. So we have some deep science going on at UW-Oshkosh as well. What does it look like for fall 26? Coming up fast now. Admits right now, admits meaning those people that have said, yep, you're in, 47% up. Confirmed students, those are confirmed saying, yep, I want UW-Oshkosh, 20%. Titan Takeoff, which is our orientation program, registrations for those are up 31%, and those are going to start to unfold over the next 2 to 3 months. So you'll see a lot more families coming downtown. You'll see a lot more families checking out the city beyond the campus. This is important. We all play a role in this. We want them here because we know it's not just about the college experience. It's about what's going to happen after, and they stick around. So we're really proud of this. We're not going to take it for granted. We're going to keep working hard to retain them. We have a comeback story at UW-Oshkosh that's important for you to know about. You may recall in fiscal year '23, around about late summer of 2023, we realized that we were looking at a pretty gaping deficit. So we developed a plan. We instituted that plan, faced it head on. It was tough. We said goodbye to a lot of wonderful people at UW Oshkosh, and we did a lot of other things to help shore up our budget. By the end of fiscal year '24, what we had once projected to be perhaps up to an $18 million deficit actually turned out to be about minus 1.3. And we climbed out of that further over this last fiscal year and finished, I'm very proud to say, at a positive $5.3 million in our funds. So that's great. It's turning in the right direction. We got more to do, meaning that we are going to continue to build on that base. I feel like UW Oshkosh is in a much healthier position right now, but we know that we got more work to do to just continue to fortify the balances in the funds that help just keep a stable organization going. We have a strategic plan underway, and we're calling the process right now Oshkosh Infinite, which is really a reference from Chancellor Singh to our infinite potential at UWO. We think we're just beginning to realize it with everyone's help. Thank you to everybody who's been a part of that plan. We've had several listening sessions. This is one you see in this picture at Beckett's Atrium. Dozens of attendees really came out. We had one in Appleton as well. Really proud of that. Really great turnout. 485 surveys, and then all the feedback that we're still gathering from our own internal community too, including students, to make sure that we've got a good plan in place. And it's really coming down to 4 pillars, 4 main themes. Number 1, student experience and belonging, making students feel welcome, successful, like they've got a future. Employee excellence and development. This is really a key one. If you don't have a strongly supported, well-supported and nurtured employee base, you can't accomplish any of the goals we're going to pack into a plan. Institutional innovation and resilience, continuing to push ourselves to understand artificial intelligence. How can we leverage it not only operationally, but for our learners? And if you come visit us at booth E3, you'll see more programs, and we can give you some access to ways to even let us know if you're interested in enrolling in certificate programs. And then finally, this is the big one I think that a lot of us really care about here in this room, reputation and community engagement. We need to continue to hone that identity, UW Oshkosh, as an incredible place, not only to go to college, but to braid your college experience with a work experience that's probably going to transform into a career in what we know is a low cost of living, high quality of life region of Wisconsin. The two go hand in hand. These are just a look ahead. We're right now kind of in that winter, spring 26 crafting the plan phase, and this summer, fall, we'll bring it to life. We'll unveil the finished plan at Convocation, which is the kickoff to the fall 26 academic year. You can still find more online at our strategic plan website. And if you have any ideas, our Chancellor page too, which you've got the URL for right there, has a Share Your Ideas link, and we'd love to hear from you if you've got feedback for us. That's all I've got. Thank you all. Go Titans.
Thanks, Alex. As an alum, it's great to see all the growth, all the accomplishments, and moving forward. So hail Titans, and let's bring home a couple of national championships this weekend. All right. So with that, it is now time to introduce Rebecca Grill, our city manager from the city of Oshkosh. So Rebecca, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I hope that my voice lasts through this. But I just wanted to take the opportunity to share some of the great things that we're doing at the city. I think most of you know we had a challenging year with our budget last year. We did start with a significant deficit, but we were able to maintain the levy throughout the budget. We had a lower property tax rate than the previous year, and then for residential property owners, there was a savings on their city property taxes for their medium home value of $225,000. A lot of the commercial properties might have had a different experience with their taxes because there was a shift from the value going from the residential to the commercial. The 2026 budget priorities, the council has set strategic goals, but we're really focused on continuing the high quality services, doing a lot of restructuring so we can contain our costs, realigning our resources, reducing duplication, focusing on what the community wants and needs.
let me know when you're done. I don't want to move. Some of the investments we do, we have for 26 are a lot of technology, so a little behind on some of the technology. I think the most exciting things for me are the first and the last two. So we're implementing a new software solution for all of our public-facing permitting, licensing, interactions with the public. We're also getting a new website, so you can maybe actually find things when you're searching. I don't know about you, but I have a problem finding things. And then moving to Microsoft 365. But I also wanted to put a face to some of the technology investment. So yesterday, Police Chief Smith let me know that the Axon software, the new investment that were made, we were able to get a girl who doesn't speak English, who speaks Swahili, our new body cameras translate. And so we were able to help her find her parents. So I don't know the whole story. That's the brief. So I think sometimes we just look at things as like dollars and cents, but that really takes it home. It really means a lot. So just wanted to share that with you today. This is our organization in a small picture here. The most of our funding is in public safety. We have 550 full-time employees, 96 part-time, and then we have seasonals. Our operating budget with both the tax levy and other areas is over $200 million. 44 million of that is personnel costs. It's a city council manager form of government, and then we have about 67,000. I have a number that's closer to 67 that I like to use. I don't know where we got that one. I'll have to update this, but here's a little bit about our personnel. This kind of shows you some of the changes that we've been implementing for our structure. So we started a new communications and engagement department. We're moving around some of the people that were in Oshkosh Media, that were in the different departments with graphic design, that were in the library, that were in our museum, just bringing them all together so we can have a shared voice. We have our finance department. This is more internal, but they're going to be taking over our purchasing. We split apart our public works and engineering departments. So we have public works operations, so everyone that's in the field and doing facilities and field maintenance, they're all together. And then we separated them from engineering, so engineering and utilities are a separate group. A lot of that had to do with when there's people in different departments, they were supporting outside lawn mowing, snow removal, those type of things. And so there was a lot of excess equipment and driving past each other to do things. So bringing them together really makes sense. Then cultural and enrichment services, we created an umbrella. Sometimes when you have budget challenges, one of the first areas for the people looking for cuts, because you can't necessarily do police and fire, are these areas which we need to have. So one of the important things is that we put together a fund development. So how can we sustainably keep these in a longer term without just relying on tax levy? Anna Canizo from our museum and our new cultural and enrichment services director is here. So she's overseeing this, and that also includes parks and event services, the museum, and then also working with the library. The council puts together city manager goals for myself and for me to work with the strategic plan and all of the staff to accomplish. These are the 5. They're adjusted somewhat from last year's, but the first one is implement and monitor a community engagement plan. I think it's really important for us to share the information about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it, and the challenges that we have. It shouldn't be just a last-minute surprise that we have a budget challenge when we're going through the budget. People should know that going throughout the year. So these are the goals that they put forth. A little bit about our capital improvement infrastructure. Hopefully you'll be able to adjust the paramedic school so that it won't have to be so bouncy, because we're trying to focus on the roads. But see, these are some of the updates that we're doing this year, just for reference. We are trying to continue investing in the roads and fixing them. If you have a pothole or a specific concern, please reach out to me. I will not come out there and fill it, but I will get someone to look at it. We don't necessarily go to all areas of the city to look all the time, but, so if you could help us out and let us know, I'd appreciate that. We have a few DOT projects that are going on. So the Main Street Bridge is going to be finishing up shortly. The Wisconsin 21 improvements, I think I have another slide on this I'll go into. The Wisconsin Street Bridge, that's going to be starting. They're just doing some painting and structural repairs, and then the Oregon Jackson Street Bridge is going to begin in 2028. The 2021 improvements, it's from Omro into the city of Oshkosh, so it's going to be 8.8 miles of a full closure. I don't know about you, but this is the detour. That seems pretty, I don't know, might find a different road. I was trying to go there, but. So just be aware this is coming up pretty quickly, in the next week, I think. So plan ahead. Then one of the other things that our capital improvements is just more than just our roads and things like that. We're also investing in the transit center. We're putting in a public restroom facility, waiting area, and then a second platform. We expect to have this completed by the end of this summer. And then one of the most significant capital improvement programs that projects that we're dealing with is the replacement of the clear wells. These are the potable water tanks. Should I talk faster? Okay. So you're looking at your watch.
You're right on.
Okay. So these are some things that the clear wells have needed to be replaced. So staff has been working on this for the last decade or so, and the construction bid for just this came in at $47.6 million, which is significant. Then we're going to have support through the project of $3.9 million. So this is something that the bid just came in, I think, in February. So this will be starting soon. We're also longer term. We're going to be doing some revisioning of the Lakeshore Drive. So this is the plan that was picked. We don't know the cost. Initial estimates I've heard thrown around are like $5 or $6 million. So significant investment we're putting in, but it's for, hopefully these clear wells can last as long as the last one, but I don't know. That was been over 100 years for a couple of them. These are some of the projects that we have in progress: the Mill on Main, the Commons, the Washington School Housing. We're looking at working with the Grand Oshkosh on their revisioning, downtown redevelopment, and then future sawdust projects.
Thanks, Rebecca. I will point out that with the progress, Oshkosh had $50 million in new construction last year compared to $30 million the year before. Kind of maybe correlates. It's your first year. That's awesome. Our residential development doubled the numbers as well. So I think that's great to hear, and I think the community is moving forward. So thanks for your first year of service with us, Rebecca. And now, last but not least, Winnebago County Executive Gordon Hintz. Gordon, take it away.
Thank you. I'm sorry I came up before I was even introduced. I was so anxious. Although when you go last, you feel like you're either between lunch or happy hour, and apparently there's no lunch and no happy hour. But maybe it's right that Winnebago County goes last, because one of the things that I've ever since I've been in for 11 months now, and I think all the other entities that are here, I think people have a better grasp of, You know, I think when they identify with the city, they think about, well, I call the police and they show up, they plow the streets, they pick up the garbage. You know, our schools educate our kids, Friday night lights, the university, the tech colleges, they have a better idea. But, you know, when I talk to people about the work and that the county does, you know, I always kind of get more questions. Even when I was campaigning, there was a lot of, I don't know what county I live in, or, you know, because it's just, you know, people don't say like, I'm from Winnebago County. They're more from their community. Counties, again, in Wisconsin, were drawn 175 years ago based on how far you could ride a horse in one day. And that's great if you needed to get to your county seat 175 years ago. But if we were to design government in 2026, you probably wouldn't do it like you have it today with 72 governments. But we do work with other governments. Your single stream recycling is a direct great program where we partner with Outagamie and Brown County, where all our recyclables and all our trash gets, you know, we work together. So it's not like we're not looking for ways to get outside of our own county borders. I also just want to start off by highlighting things that the county does that you might not think about. We just went through a tremendous storm. Our highway department worked for 72 hours straight on minimal sleep to dig us out. That has a direct impact on our economy, our ability to have Highway 41 open, and a lot of our other county roads to get through the county. The sheriff's office, 911 dispatch, our crisis center, Parkview Nursing Home, are all work that were essential services that couldn't stop because there was a storm, because of the work they do for the community. I'll also mention that when other, you know, buildings close, or like the library closes, we opened up our State Street Day Center for the homeless population. And our staff goes and helps out the Salvation Army when they have to open up their overnight beds to be able to accommodate the homeless population that we have here. So oftentimes it's the county that is leading the way to serve, you know, those who need the assistance in our community. I always just like to focus a bit on, because we are Oshkosh here, and I'm somebody who represented Oshkosh in the legislature, but we are sort of urban, rural, suburban, like Wisconsin is sort of a, you know, has it all, you know, is like our country. Winnebago County is like our country as well. We have the third largest university in the state. We have urban, we have suburban, we have rural. And we have representatives on the county board that make up all of those communities. And we have to try to get everybody to steer in the same direction despite those things. Some of those unincorporated areas on the bottom I'm going to have to search out because I have not been to Raymore yet. Does anybody know where that is? No? Okay. This is just a layout of, we have 27 departments. The green ones are elected. The blue ones are services that we provide, you know, direct departments, you know, that fall under me. And they, you know, do a number of different things. Some of them are funded by segregated funds. Some of them are directly on the property tax levy. One of the things, going back to how I started, counties are really there to carry out mandates from the federal government and the state. A lot of our funding comes from federal government and state government. The federal government will say, we'll give you these dollars if you fulfill these programs. State government often says, we'll give you 80% funding if you do these programs. And a lot of the time, counties have flexibility in terms of how they deliver and fulfill those programs. But a lot of these are in human services, public health, you know, a lot of these things. In terms of, you know, economic impact, you know, I mentioned highway having a direct impact on our economy when you think about things like, you know, digging out from a blizzard. But Whitman Field is a county operation. When you think, you know, beyond the 2 weeks that we have supporting EAA and its $250 million impact, we continue to work to develop the commercial side of aviation surrounding the airport. You know, we maintain world-class infrastructure. We are one of 4 airports, general aviation airports in the country with 4 runways, an air traffic control tower, and on-site fire suppression, something we debated last night when we raised our hangar fees a bit. to help fund those investments at our airport. Parks and trails. Obviously, Winnebago County Park comes to mind, but we also renovated recently the trail in Eureka Dam. We've got some significant upgrades coming to Winnebago County Park with new soccer fields, potential rugby field, pickleball courts. We've got frisbee out there, but a lot of this is aimed at recreational tourism. We already have some pretty big soccer tournaments, and the soccer clubs would like to be able to build on those and enhance those. And we're working with Discover Oshkosh to build on those opportunities. Same with the Waiawash Trail. It's something the county currently maintains and operates through a number of different communities, and we're looking for ways to partner, with the city, university, Discover Oshkosh, the foundation, on ways to continue to enhance recreational tourism and better connect our communities. I'll mention land and water conservation too. In terms of bang that we get for our buck, given how little we actually spend from the county, they've done some tremendous work in restoring and protecting our watershed, from working with farmers on nutrient management to putting in break walls to restore natural habitat on our lakes, restore fisheries, improve water clarity, garnering grants and private investment to be able to leverage that with our resources. I'm really proud of a lot of the work that they do. Quick stats: we have 36 elected supervisors. Quick study: how many of you can name your county board supervisor? Go. I knew Dan Shea would be there. And I see most of my county staff. You're lucky. That's okay. We have 15 of the 36 seats actually have, but I think this speaks, have competition, even though they're all on the ballot. So if you're voting, you'll see them out there. I think it speaks more to the fact that we simply, like I said, the county is kind of out of sight, out of mind. People aren't focusing that much. We have more than 1,200 employees when you consider part-time. Again, a large part of our budget comes from the federal government, state government, and segregated funds. About 74 million comes from county property taxes, with a pretty even split between our cities when we're talking about Neenah, Menasha, Oshkosh, versus villages and towns. We're always looking at budget. What happens at the federal level or the state level trickles down to us. So a lot of the things that may have been passed last summer, we're still waiting to see what the impacts are. Some of the things like work requirements on Medicaid, the people who have to oversee those work requirements are at the county level. So even if the dollars aren't necessarily cut, there's an additional expense and mandate for the county to be able to implement those things. One of the big things that government's going through is the same thing that all of you in the private sector are going through, competition for a limited labor pool that's only getting older. We will have increasing challenges trying to fill key staff positions, especially in skilled positions, if the labor pool continues to shrink and become more competitive. So one of the challenges that we face is probably related to immigration. The Oshkosh community's entire population growth between 2010 and 2020 was from refugees. We added 500 people in the city, and we added 500 refugees. So if we're no longer going to take people, I don't know how we're going to grow. When you talk to, it's not just agriculture or hospitality industries, but hospitals, nursing homes, others, who have been historically looking to recruit from outside of the country with H-1B visas and other things. And again, you think about companies like Amcor that have been incredibly successful at helping integrate and utilize our refugee community into employment in a win-win opportunity. And so I think as we consider those things in our growth and our ability to fill jobs, we need to acknowledge that. My first day in office, the county board bought a 2-year campus from Allegheny County. Fox closed when UW Oshkosh pulled out, or closed the campus due to declining enrollment, June 30th of last year. We had done a facility study. We've maintained the child care center that is open there. The Barlow Planetarium is open and now county-run. We had taken through a few developers, and I was real hopeful that we had a deal with Faith Technology to buy the campus. But maybe that was too good to be true. They, for a number of reasons, were probably looking for a more central training center location in the country. But now, we're working informally with the consultant who did the Thrivent project on doing sort of a technical assistance panel that brings in some stakeholders on mapping out what would be a realistic plan for the development of the campus as we work to get the theater operational and the field house operational so it can be used. But you've got parts of the campus on 43 acres that have been, my mom taught there for 15 years. It's a university space. What it can be converted to is, challenging. A lot of the two-year campuses that counties are dealing with the same thing. But, we hope over the next year to have a plan we can take to the community and grow it into something that is sustainable, that preserves the assets like the theater and the planetarium, but also, contributes to the economy. Housing continues to be a huge issue. 10, 15 years ago, the county didn't really get involved in housing. We didn't seem to have as big an overt challenge with homelessness, but they're both tied together. The reason housing prices have spiked is because it's a supply and demand issue. The county recently passed a revolving loan fund that we hope to have the RFP awarded to a nonprofit to be able to manage that can leverage that to help assist with gap financing for new housing. And we also have seen working with municipalities and the private sector. We're also obviously dealing with and have been engaged for a number of years now in trying to assist the homeless population and the increasing need for services. That is both with Human Services, Public Health, and the DA's office. Big one, and we took a step last night. The county has 138 buildings in the county. We have $67 million of deferred maintenance. A lot of it is coming due at the same time. We obviously can't fix it overnight. Last night we approved a design study for a new highway facility. Our current highway facility is only 35 years old, but it was built for 2-axle trucks. We now have massive 3-axle trucks and plows. It doesn't work, you can't maintain them. The space for the workers isn't great, and I was thinking about this a lot during the snowstorm. We're gonna get a modern, updated facility in the next budget, because we know it's gonna be located out there, and then this is gonna be the beginning of phase 1 of a facilities plan. You asked the city manager about the future of City Hall, both with the school district and city. We're all working together on sharing what our building's needs are and what opportunities there might be to work together and to partner. Other challenges, bridging divides, north, south, urban, rural. I mentioned, Winnebago County is not really an identity. There's Oshkosh, and then there's the Fox Cities, and then there's kind of everything to the west. The Fox Cities is an economic region. Oshkosh is an economic region. When I go to the northern part of the county, I have to work, recognizing that, that fact. Bringing services to where people are. We're trying to get out to the county more, whether that's veteran services, public health, finding ourselves to be able to, market and promote what the county does. And then obviously partnering with local governments, chambers, and others to maximize impact. This year we started our process earlier, about 2 months earlier, both with the board and with the public. We did 6 town halls, we did rotaries. I continue to do those sort of things because I'm desperate to promote the county so more people raise their hands and know about the county and about who their supervisor is. We obviously tried to live within our means. We're trying to do more accurate forecasting. A lot of times we'll budget for, in the past, had budgeted for every position, even though we know we don't fill every position, and then we end up with turnover savings. We're finding ways to consolidate and find more efficient ways to do things. I mentioned workforce investment. The county's in good financial shape. The bad news is a lot of the reason we're in good financial shape is because we saved a lot of money over the years underpaying our staff. And we had an exodus both to the public and private sector. So they did a compensation study years ago. You can't make that up overnight, but as the city manager said, labor costs are the biggest part of our budget, and we got to find a way, to take care of our people and not just recruit, but you want to retain your people and make it a good environment for places to work. If you look at all funds, because if you want to know what the county does, like I still don't get it. He's talking really fast. He's got 30 more seconds. Like these are the top 10 things that we spend money on with all the funds that we have. And so you can kind of see, the top 4 spending items make up more than 50% of what county government does. And a lot of that falls, in human services, and that's really the bread and butter of what county, income maintenance, crisis center workers, a lot of the social workers, a lot of the work that we do to serve the community. And if, you benefit indirectly, even if you're not benefiting directly from the work that county government does in serving those folks. This gives you a little bit better idea, because people just usually, if they don't have any idea or don't really care what county government does, and I say, oh, we're talking about the budget, they're just like, what about my taxes? And I'm like, well, here's your taxes in terms of what your tax dollars at the county level are going towards. Because that previous slide showed what all funds are going towards. This gives you a little better idea, that the biggest chunk we have is on public safety and human services. One of the big challenges in my first year, when you've got 27 departments and, even if things that aren't on the property tax levy, I want all government to run efficiently and as effectively. We've got a lot of departments that measure performance and that try to maximize their resources to serve their goals. And a lot of them, it's more complicated. With highway, you try to evaluate, well, how did we do? Well, we had a blizzard, and we got it cleared as quickly as we could. And a lot of the challenge that we have in a lot of the departments is, how can we measure things, and, how do we do those things? I'm gonna go to the last one and then I'll end. Updating and promoting the county strategic plan. Last year was, before I started, the county passed their first ever strategic plan. And it was intentionally pretty broad. And it mostly was done, by the county board itself. And I think now we need to kind of get more feedback from community stakeholders like all of you, as well as internal staff about how we develop, what our county goals are, and then take that out to the community to make sure that what we are spending money on, what we are investing in, what we are prioritizing reflects the will of the community. Second Tuesday of every month, everyone. And if you don't watch live like Amy Secker Albright, you can stream it. All our meetings, all our information, our new website shows you all of this. You can have the same access to the same materials as the supervisors. I'll stop there.
Gordon, one of your snowplows went in the ditch out where we live this past Monday. I offered.
They didn't tell me that.
It did. Well, I offered to bring our four-wheeler to help pull them out, and that wasn't met with a lot of optimism. So I think they got a wrecker, but it's all good. So thanks to your crew too for a great job they did with this storm. So. With that, I want to thank everybody for attending. I want to thank Bank First again for sponsoring this. There's some Bank First folks here. And I want to thank our presenters for taking the time out of their very busy schedules to be with us. So how about another round of applause for our presenters? And Rebecca in the back.